Hey everybody, Jared over here at Gen 5 DIY, and today I'm going to show you how to install the live rear view mirror camera kit into your Camaro. Now, this video is being done for those that are just replacing their current camera that's in the spoiler and moving it up to the roof antenna, and this video will also cover for those that are adding the complete kit into their car with swapping the mirror and the whole 9 yards. In this video, we initially did the install on our 2016 Camaro, which you'll see in the video is our blue car, and then we also did some highlights and stuff in our 2018 ZL1 1LE. So if you see two different vehicles shown in the video, you know that we did do two different vehicles, and we just using the best video footage from both of those. So let's get into it.
All right, we got to take the panel trim off the side of the car. Easiest way is if you have a fold down back seat, fold her down and get in the trunk. It's going to make life a lot easier for you guys. Okay, now on the vehicles that don't have the back seat release inside, you'll have to do it inside the trunk. So you'll see in your trunk there's a little Velcro flap. You want to pull that down, and then there's a little silver tab in there. Just push that and then push the seat forward. You're good to go. All right, another view from with it down so you guys can see a little better. Inside that Velcro thing, you'll see the little silver tab. Just push it and snap, it's released. All right, step one in getting this side panel trim off is we have to take the center piece off, which is located right here. You'll see this cover going over the seatbelt. That just simply pops off. Now you see a little cover up there. It says airbag on it. There's not an airbag right there. Don't be scared. Pop that off. There's a 7mm headed screw up there. Pop that out. And when that's off, that panel will simply pull off. Sometimes they're a little stubborn, and just get that out of your way. Now we have to remove the upper trim molding. Again, there's a plastic piece in the back where the seatbelt goes. Just simply pull that off. Another 7mm screw. Pull that out. Once that's off, this piece will come off as well. There you go. Now that's off. Now rinse and repeat for the other side, and once the other side's off, we can lower the headliner. All right, we just got the side panels off. So on the back of the headliner, you'll see there's a black retainer clip. There's one on each side. What we need to do is we need to remove those. So what we like to do is start to work them from the outside there, and then get behind it, and they'll pull down. Now we do this on both sides. Now you can see how the headliner comes down pretty far. So GM says you got to remove the headliner completely. We really don't see the need. Now what I can do is we can pull down a little bit, and you can see how we can get up there and access everything that we need to. So you're definitely going to want a helper for this, but this does give you plenty of access. All right, let's show you how to get this antenna out and the new one put in. Okay, now that we got the headliner loose, what we're going to do is we'll be able to loosen up the bolt, and we'll have to release the antenna cables. I'm gonna get my camera on there. You'll see that there's a 10mm headed bolt right there. You're gonna have to loosen that and remove it. We did pre-loosen it prior to the video here, so it speeded up a little bit. Now after the bolt and the clamp are off, you can release your antenna cables. You'll have the yellow one and then the maroon one. Just have to find the release clamp on them and pull them out. Now once that is done, it's loose. We can go to the roof, and we should be able to pull the antenna right up here, and out she comes. Now it's time to put in the new one.
Hey everybody, Jared intercepting here real quick at Gen 5. I realized that in the video we showed you to keep this bolt and retainer on. That is incorrect. You do want to remove these two pieces, and then the antenna will pop right in. Sorry about that. We did it right, we just didn't film it after we caught ourselves.
All right, now we got our new antenna cable here. Obviously, the only difference is there's one more lead for where the camera cable is going to run to the mirror. So you can leave the bolt on, the clamp on. You just want to loosen that bolt up so it's not super tight, and just fish those through. Get those in there. Like that, and then you just push it down. You'll hear it click like that. Now we'll go into the inside and we can hook up our, we'll hook up our antenna cable connections, like they were prior. Get those going. So we have our new camera cable. You're gonna want to take this end of it, hand it over here to Nick, and we're just gonna route it over the top of the headliner for now. And you can plug that in, and at this point, now you can tighten up the bolt up there and snug it up, and that part of the install will be done. So now let's get out the original mirror assembly. Each car will be a little different here depending on if you have a manual dimming mirror or an auto dimming. This one has the auto dimming mirror, so there's going to be a cap on the back. Just pop that cap off, and on the back side of the mirror there's going to be a wire harness on there. Let's unplug that. Now if you have a manual dimming mirror, you may or may not have a wire here. All right, when that's unplugged, now these mirrors come off with a quarter twist per se. So you'll see there's a hole on the bottom side of the bracket. Fish like a sturdy little screwdriver and give it a quarter turn twist, and out she goes. And we're gonna take the overhead console out. You just pry on the front edge, just loosen her up a little bit, and then it'll pull off. We don't have to disconnect anything. We just let it hang right there. Okay, now we got the camera cable connected. There's going to be two different install methods here for the cable. If you have a sunroof car, the best course of action is going to be run it over to the A-pillar assembly, and then we'll run it across the front edge of the headliner in the same way that we'll be running the power harness, which I'll get to in a minute. For those without a sunroof, what we can do is after we remove the center or the upper console assembly, we can simply reach up in there and guide it toward that hole at the upper, and then we can just pull it down right there. And then when we're done, we'll just tuck the slack up there. But let's just double check, just let it run, just let it be loose. There's no retainers in the middle, so you're not going to pinch anything. All right, after we pull it through there with the overhead down, we're gonna just guide it forward and right through the existing hole where the mirror was. Okay, we're gonna take out the passenger sunshade retainer. That just gives us about 1 inch of clearance right here to run the power connector. So there's a little retainer clip there. Lower that down, and then this is a T15 Torx that's up in here. Okay, pop that down, and with that out, you can see the front of the headliner moves a little bit. Now, what we need to do is our harness, it's gonna plug into your original mirror connector and as well into the new mirror. So right now, just to start things off, you wanna route it through the back side of the headliner and bring that whole thing through, and you'll fish it up through the overhead console opening. There we go. This one, we have a radar detector lead on it, so that's what you're seeing there. So we just get this up here, and then we need to route back to where the original connector was, and we'll plug that in, and then we'll install the new mirror and get this part connected. Now we'll install the mirror. Mirror goes in the same way as the other one. It just gets a twist. So usually you want to start with an angle toward you on the driver's side, kind of like so. While you're twisting it, just kind of push up on the base and twist it until it locks. And now we need to connect the wires that are on the back side of it. So where it gets a little fun, it's a little tight back here. So the 10 pin will go right into the mirror assembly, like so. And then your camera lead is going to plug right into the camera lead on there. It is tabs, it can only go one way. And that snaps on. That's good to go. We have your new trim cover, which just goes on opposite as how the other one came off. Just snap it on. All right, now for the power harness assembly. Basically, we're gonna route it along the top edge of the windshield, or the passenger passenger side. And what we're going to do is we're just going to route it around the A-pillar joint down here, and then we're going to run it behind this panel, and the connection is actually under the dash at the AC module. All right, just kind of work it in with your pick tool, or I'm sorry, your plastic tool. Once it's over there, just kind of follow the weather strip, pull the weather strip back a little bit. It'll actually fall behind the panel once it's behind the weather strip, so no worries there. All right, now let's get it down on the side of the dash. To do that, we got to pull this side panel off, which will just pop off like so. It's off. Okay, with that panel off, now we'll get it. Let's continue working our way down. Now you'll see right in the gap between the lower panel and there's just there's a spot where it'll sneak in, and now we'll get it under the dash, and I'll show you how to plug it into the AC control module and get all this just tucked up the way you want it. Kind of do it the same way. All right, now we're under the passenger side of the dash. The air conditioning control module is located right here. You can see the green, the brown, the black, and the gray connector. We're working with the brown, which is a match to our to the connection on our new harness. So the release tab's on the back. I'm sorry, it's on the front side facing you. Just depress it and pull it out. Once that's out, just plug our harness in line with it and connect it back in, and the power connection is done. I'll show you how that looks. Plug it back into the module like so. Hear it click. Now you can just take this extra wire that you have, and you can just kind of tuck it along the side here. Tuck it away nice and clean. Now that part's done, I do believe it's time to test. All right, the moment of truth. Got the engine running. Right now, the flip lever, when it's flipped to the back position, it is like a normal mirror, and we flip it up, and there she goes live. So this is done in our 1LE, so we have the high wing. So we have adjustments on here that can be made. You use your far left button, and then you can choose from zoom, up and down, and brightness. So I'm gonna focus right now on the moving. So you see we can scroll down, there's our wing. You can scroll it up if you don't want to see the wing, and then you can zoom in, zoom out, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. But it works, it's in. All right, now we know it's all working. Let's put everything back together. Reverse order, of course. I mean, sunshade retainer, got your overhead back in, got to do the headliner. Once all that's done, the job is complete. Let's go drive it around and have some fun.